Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who is new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. So welcome to today's video, which is super special because today I'm going to show you a brand that I promise you have not seen featured everywhere, and isn't that exciting? So today we are going to talk about beautiful Shellz Cosmetics. Now you know this brand from my channel because I spoke about the palette that I'm going to show you in a second already in my new makeup releases videos and also in my last collected makeup haul that went live a few days ago. Okay, so sweeties, this is what it is. Today we are speaking about the Creole palette, and welcome to the review of that palette. Okay, so you're going to see, of course, me creating this look. There will be two more looks later on in pictures in this video. There will be swatches, and of course at the end of the video we will meet here again for the review part. But if you've just found me, I'm Leorah. I'm a makeup artist and stylist living for colorful makeup and colorful styling. I'm living for indie makeup, small indie brands. Sweeties, this is my my life right now, at least. So that is what I'm doing. That's why I consider myself the ambassador for indie brands, because that is exactly what I want to do, you know. So I received this in PR from beautiful Shellz Cosmetics. They reached out to me after I had featured this palette in the new makeup releases, and this is how she looks. All right, so this is how she looks a little bit closer. All right, so I'm super grateful. Thank you so much, beautiful Shellz Cosmetics team, for sending this to me, and I am really thrilled that I can feature your palette. All right, I have a lot of thoughts, and we're going to, of course, talk about that at the end of the video. But of course, if you've just found me, then please, of course, check out my channel and also my social media, which is linked in the description box down below, so you can get to know me a little bit, check everything out. I hope you feel welcome here and feel good here, and of course, subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you here on a regular basis. And with all of that being said, of course, we are going to also chat a little bit today about something kind of really funny, and I think a lot of you can relate to that. So of course I want to hear in the comments what you have to say to that. All right, so without further ado, let's just go right into it. Okay, sweetie, here we are, and I am going to do a look. Yeah, surprise. Okay, so I'm wearing the eyeshadow base from ABH. I've also tried two different ones. I tried the ones from Natasha Denona and also a different one, Jybel MUA. I still don't know how to pronounce it. HYVE, I think. I don't know. So, but that was also really good. So just saying, this is ABH, and now let us go in with the shade Mardi Gras, I want to say. And that is this one. This one. And let us just go in and use that as a bit of a transition shade, maybe. All right, so sweeties, I just dug my nail into the doesn't matter. Okay, sweeties, let us also talk about something, because I wanted to actually share something about my whole quest of the, look at this, isn't this good? Isn't this good, the pigmentation? My quest for a new foundation. Now maybe you can see that this part of my face is done, and this part of my face, the lower part under my eyes, is not done. This is how I do my makeup, because I kind of really need my eyebrows to be done. In order for doing my eyebrows, I kind of need my foundation to be on, because I don't want to wiggle around my eyebrows, doing the eyebrows first and then the foundation. I don't want to bother with that, honestly. Plus, I just need this to be empty still, because I'm a messy worker, you know. I want to be able to like go wild and do whatever I want to do without being scared the whole time that I am messing up my foundation. So that is why I'm doing it. And of course, also after the fact, I need to then cover up my melasma. It is not that bad actually right now. Do you see those scratches here? I had an altercation with my rescue cat, unfortunately, still showing signs of aggression, and this time it was my face that was involved, which is not this is not good. It's really not good news. But in any case, so sweeties, that's not the topic for today. The topic for today is foundations. Now maybe if you have followed me for a while, you know that I only used to do makeup with my Superstay foundation from Maybelline. Now at some point, because that is like super matte but also super opaque and has a very good staying power. Now at some point I felt like maybe it is time to slowly move to something that is a little bit more glowy, or let's say not as dry, you know. That also is already a big help, because I kind of feel like, you know, the older I get, I kind of also need to adjust what I'm wearing in a way. Now, Maybelline offered, together with the Superstay foundation, also the Fit Me foundation, at least here in my country. If you don't know, I live in Israel. So this I buy, of course, here in the drugstore. And so I found the Fit Me foundation, which is a very, very good foundation, if you ask me. I really enjoyed it. Now, I bought one bottle because I wanted to try how it works, you know. But then when I wanted to repurchase it, there were only like certain shades that just don't fit me left. And it was like a big empty space in the drugstore. And I was like, what's happening here? So they told me, the girls in the drugstore that wear black and know a lot about makeup, they told me that they're not bringing in that foundation anymore, or it has been discontinued. I'm not 100% sure, but definitely it's not available here in my country anymore. So I thought something similar about 2 years ago, also about the Superstay foundation, but I think in that case they were just not rebranding, but revamping I don't know, the outer packaging or something. So it has been redone, but it is still the same foundation, and then at some point they brought it back in. But by the way, I'm just using that same shade, but on a fluffy brush, and I'm just trying to like blend this out, you know. So I'm going in with very, very little, just so I can have a nicer blend. Alright, so that is basically the backstory, and yeah, so that foundation, after like trying one bottle, it was not available anymore. Alright, so I knew at some point I have to get myself new foundation. Now I looked on Beauty Bay and whatever, and couldn't really make up my mind 100% about like what to try. Because also then, you know, if you do not know your exact shade and you cannot swatch it and you cannot actually try it, what if you then order something that is absolutely like off, you know, it doesn't fit with you. I was also actually recommended by one of you to try the foundation that Glam offers, because that is rather easy for me to get, but also here I would have to go through this whole process of shade matching, like from afar, kinda. You can of course buy those little sleeves where you can just try and whatever, but it all takes so long, and I don't, you know, I'd rather, if I have the option, I want to go to a store, I want to do it there, and I want to go out of the store with my product. I prefer that. Alright, let us go in with the next darker shade. Maybe I'm debating which brush to use. So let us use also this shade, and I think this is called Bayou, maybe. I think it's Bayou. Alright, so in any case, I'm just going to push this a little bit like in the outer corner, just a tiny little bit, so for a little bit more depth, but overall I think this is already pretty close to what I was envisioning, kinda. Alright, so in any case, this is the backstory. So one day, I then finally said, okay, I have to go and buy a foundation, because the one that I had was running low, and of course I always have the option to go back to the Superstay foundation and just do the whole face with it, but I kind of still wanted to like, I wanted to get this done. I wanted to like know that there is something for me, you know. So alright, so I wanted to go to the drugstore because I also do not want to spend like amazing crazy amounts of money on a foundation, because I can't, you know, it is too expensive for me. I cannot afford that, and I'm not embarrassed to say that. It is just I'm using so much foundation that I do not want to spend a super crazy amount on that. Beyond that, I don't know how it is for you guys, but in my country, anything like even like a normal foundation from Maybelline or from L'Oreal or whatever is already like, everything is more expensive, you know. I think everything is a little bit more expensive here, so at least this is how it seems. But I guess that is because I'm living in a country where none of this is produced, maybe, and because everything has to be brought in, everything is being like more expensive, I would assume, but I don't know. So there was this one day I was not wearing makeup. It was a makeup-free day, and sweeties, don't get fooled by when you see me coming on here with without makeup on. because I still have makeup on. I have my eyebrows and I have some of the foundation on, right? I also have my eyes tight lined, but when I have nothing done, I always say like I look like a bird that just fell out of the nest and is like all shaggy and I don't know what. This is how I feel when I have no makeup on. Now, do I have a problem with that? No. Do I prefer that? No. But it was just a makeup-free day and that's all it was. All right. So sometimes I have those. Lately, I don't, because I just have so much to work with that I really don't have time. And I kind of also feel like it is good for my mental health to do makeup, because it has something like, especially the blending, it has like the aspects of meditation for me in a way, you know? So it really calms me. Plus, I do feel like I'm creating something where I see a result. It is different than when you're folding laundry or something, because like 2 seconds later, the basket of laundry is full again and you start from the beginning. You don't really have a long-term effect, right? All right, so plus I don't necessarily, it doesn't make me feel pretty to fold laundry, you know what I mean? All right, so let's go in with the other shade, because I wanted to go in with the yellow, this one, and I want to have this in the inside. So I'm just also here debating which, I think I'm just going to go in with a brush first and then later on put it also on with my finger if I can reach it with my new nails. All right, so sweeties, so I went into the store, no makeup on, and I always feel a little bit more even self-aware that I'm not wearing makeup. It is strange, because when I'm wearing makeup, I know that I stand out, obviously, that people stare, obviously, because here where I live, people don't see stuff like that a lot, you know? I guess it depends where you live, but here in Israel, I want to say that there are very, very, very few people who walk around like I do, and I personally don't know anyone, and I've never seen anyone, you know? So I'm a bit of a lonely person when it comes to that. All right, so beyond that, I went into the store and I went to the person in charge of the foundations, and I was explaining to her my situation that I just explained to you, the whole thing, the dilemma with the Maybelline foundations. And I was like, okay, so I need a foundation that has the characteristics of the Fit Me foundation from Maybelline, but it cannot be from Maybelline. So what can we do? All right, so so basically she went to pick up one of the bottles of the Superstay foundation, which is still available, in the shade Ivory, because that is my shade and I had told her. And then she went around the store to pick up different foundations that kind of, let me just explain to you. So this is the Superstay foundation. So she went around the store and then she kind of matched it like this, you know, 2 different foundations. And then she came and like showed me the results. And I was like, that is spectacular. This is like so professional. Okay, so then I said, so can we swatch it? Yeah, can we? So she was like, okay, so give me your arm, give me your wrist. I always like, okay. So at that point I decided to just play dumb. Because I wanted to know where this goes, you know? And I was like, I actually had fun. I was borderline annoyed because I don't have time for nonsense, you know? I'm living on a very, very tight time budget also. And especially when it comes to stuff like this, I feel like just let me do my thing and don't bug me. But I kind of really, really wanted to know what happens there. Okay, so she then at some point swatched the shades on her hand and held them in front of me and said, okay, you see, this matches this and this matches that and this is the closest. And I'm like, what? I couldn't, you know? It was kind of really super hilarious when I think about it. Of course, I could not break out in laughter in the store. Or can I? I don't know. It was also an older lady, and I always feel like I've been raised to like show respect to, well, to everybody, but especially also to older people. And I was like, this is how I'm going to get out of this, you know? So in any case, at some point I then disagreed with her. I said to her, well, on your skin, this one and this one looks much closer than this one and this one. Doesn't matter for you because you were not there. But and then I was like, okay, can I swatch it on me? So she then said, so give me your wrist. Okay, so in any case, I then at some point said, so can I please put it here, like one is supposed to do it, you know? And she looked at me like, really? Okay, then I asked her if I can leave the store, you know, because I wanted to go outside. I asked for a mirror, you know, and then I asked her if I can go outside in like natural daylight to check how it looks, because that's what you're supposed to do, you know. It can be very, very off when you go according to what you see in the lighting of the store, you know. It can be super, super off. So yeah, so I did that. I cannot reach the important part. Can't. All right, so you know what I'm doing? I'm just going to spray my brush with my setting spray. Usually I would now just like press it on without doing that with my finger, but I just cannot do it. I'm not built that way. So I'm just going to like put it on like this to get it a little bit more foiled. In all the other looks that you're going to see, I did not do that. You know, I didn't wear those nails, so I didn't have to do it that way. All right, so this is basically what it is. So I'm also going to, of course, blend the other shade into it a little bit more. But seriously, you know, and yes, I ended up getting a new foundation. I decided on the foundation from L'Oreal. I also showed you this one here already in my last collected makeup haul. This is the True Match foundation. It is a bit more glowy, and this is the Golden Almond foundation. And yeah, so it works really, really well. It's a really nice foundation, but it's just, for me, it's mind-boggling what you have to go through in order to find a foundation. Like, go through in the sense of can I please deal with someone who has at least been instructed, if the person has not learned it, whatever, you know, but at least if you're the owner of a store who also offers makeup, wouldn't it be nice if the people could at least be instructed on the basics, right? On like where to swatch and what to offer and what the procedure is. Then the person swatches it on her arm. It's like this is like, I want to build a house on the earth, but the agency who sells property, whatever it's called, real estate agency, I guess, I don't know, sells me a property on Mars. This is how it is, you know. So I don't know. I don't know what your experiences are on this subject. Feel free to share in the comments. I'm sure we all have our experiences with stuff like this. And yes, it is hard. It is not easy to shade match, you know. Also, of course, because a lot of people kind of also change during summer and winter, depending on, of course, when summer and winter is for you where you live. Because maybe, you know, you get darker during the summer or whatever. I personally don't really, because I stay out of the sun as much as I can, because I'm just, you know, I try to watch the anti-aging aspect a little bit at my age now. But yeah, so in any case, that is what the experience was. I have to say that this is the softest look that I've done with the palette, but I'm kind of enjoying this too, because it's like, it's a whole different side of it, you know. I really like this. All right, so let me just finish this. Of course, you're going to see the other two looks, of course, also the swatches of the palette, and then we're going to meet here for the review part in just a second, so stay tuned. Okay, hi my lovelies, here we are, of course, with the finished look and the finished styling of this of this. Okay, you have seen the other two looks that I've done with the palette, and obviously this is the most subtle of all of them. Actually, in the meantime, I had breakfast with my kids, and one of my kids asked me if I did this on purpose in solidarity with the Ukraine, because it's like yellow and blue, and I was like, huh, interesting thought. I didn't think about that at all, but yeah, it could be, you know. So in any case, so this is of course the most subtle and the most gentle of all of them. It is kind of though a good example of that you can also with a palette like this go super soft. Of course also with this shade, which is kind of leaning towards a champagne shade, but a tiny little bit darker. And then of course you do have this one, which is a little bit more bronzy, and this is like a hybrid between a, I want to say it is a brown with a rosy undertone kind of a situation, you know. And of course you also do have the yellow, and I'm so sorry that I used the wrong brush while I was doing my makeup. Now I have to say that today I'm a little bit frazzled because of this whole situation with my rescue cat, as I already kind of implied in the makeup application part. Yes, I was chatty and I was trying to like get into my comfort zone and talk about something lighthearted and funny and cute and whatever, but my heart is really hurting right now because I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do now, you know, with my cat, and how to save him, and how, in any case, you don't know the details, so you don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, it's lying very heavy on my soul. So that is one of the reasons why I did not switch to a packing brush. I should have though. Maybe you also saw in the swatches that actually when you swatch the yellow, let me just quickly swatch this one for you, or just like I can even just show you like this, that it is super opaque and not foiled but kind of metallic, and that is really nice. And of course I couldn't show you with this brush that I used, which was kind of a blending brush. I wanted to blend it out like this towards the top, and it is the right brush for that, but for here I should have switched to a packing brush and I didn't, and that is unfortunate. So let me just wipe my hands. All right, so in any case, these shades are really pretty. Now before we of course talk about all of that, let me just zoom you in once I've wiped my hands, because now I messed myself up. Let me just zoom you in so you can see, even though I think there is not a super big mystery about how I finished the look. Of course, I basically just imitated the same thing that I have above my eyes. I imitated it underneath my eyes, and I do have a very light green eyeliner on my lower waterline, and that is it. And then in my inner corner, I do have a Fenty highlighter. That's the same highlighter that I also have all over my face. And of course, all the products that I've used you will find, of course, listed in the description box. All right, so that is basically how I finished the look. Now let us talk about the palette itself. So you do have of course this palette, it's cardboard packaging, you do have shade names that are, I do believe, on theme for the palette. I just don't know enough about it, so I cannot really tell you. I don't know, but I assume. All right, so you do have a mirror, and then it comes in a sleeve that is like semi-clear plastic, like this. This is how it comes. All right, so this is where we stand. Okay, then we of course do have, let's see about the ratio. So we do have 4 mattes, which is this one, this one, this one, and this one, and then you do have 5 shimmers. Now personally for me, I would probably switch it around because I just really love my mattes. But even so, even like this, because of the black, I feel that there is just so much variety in it, because you can really do a look based if you have my makeup style and you want to have mattes above the crease. If that is not your makeup style, then you really don't have to care, right? Just according to my makeup style and preference, you can just go basically in with all of these mattes, and in addition to that, you can also just add the black to each one, and you have a whole different look each time. You know, I'm super grateful for this one. This makes the palette for me. Also the performance is really nice. I was really impressed both by the performance of the mattes and also of the shimmers. I think it was super beautiful. Very creamy, very opaque. Talking now about the shimmers, sorry. Very opaque and super beautiful. Didn't crease, didn't do anything weird or anything. Picked up nicely on the brush. It was super nice. And also speaking about the mattes, in my very first look, let me think, in my very first look I used this one, and this was the shade, and I blended it out with itself basically, and there was no problem. You know, they blend super well. They are very pigmented, and at the same time just super easy to work with, and I was super impressed. So this formula I highly recommend to you. It reminds me a little bit of the formula from Cosmic Brushes, and you know that the Cosmic Brushes palette, the Royal Rose palette last year, was probably formula-wise, maybe not color scheme-wise, but formula-wise, my most favorite palette of the year, because it is a super nice formula, and this reminds me very much of that formula, in case you do have that palette. Alright, so in any case, this is how she looks. I think that it is also actually really sweet that they did put those 3 more neutral shades in it, because they are different. They are different. I already pointed out, of course, the difference, because maybe on first glance it looks like, why are these shades in there? Why are there so many? You know, yeah, maybe one could have switched this up. I would maybe have taken one of them and turned it into a matte, the same color, but maybe a matte. But that is again just because I prefer mattes to shimmers. What can I say? Alright, but beyond that, I was super impressed. I really loved it. In the first look that you saw in the pictures, you also saw that, of course, that was the look where I used this shade the most, and there was also no staining. I didn't really expect it either, because it is kind of light. It kind of leans a little bit towards neon, like a hybrid between a neon and a pastel. A neon pastel, you know, but also here it was super easy to work with, because usually like neon-y leaning shades don't like me at all. So this was really nice. So I cannot find any fault with this palette. You know, it was really good. So definitely check out this brand and what else they have to offer, and of course follow them also on social media so you see what they're coming up with next. This was really nice. And you know what it says here? It says, of course, beautiful Shellz Cosmetics, and then it says, be kind, be beautiful, be you. That is like the, thank you for putting that on the palette. That was just for me. Alright, so I think this is just so nice, and such a nice message, you know? So in any case, this is beautiful Shellz Cosmetics. I hope this was helpful for you, and maybe you can consider this, or maybe an upcoming release, because I personally really liked it. It was beautiful, you know? Oh, I should also tell you, while we're already talking about it, because if you saw my recent makeup haul where I also featured this palette, I also told you that I received this blush palette from Sugar Drizzle, and this is how it looks, and I used this today for the first time, and it was beautiful. It's beautiful. Cities. I just love indie makeup. Try to stop me. Don't try to stop me. Okay, sweeties, this is it for today. Of course, check out the description box where you find everything that I have on my face listed. Beyond that, of course, you find there all my discount codes that I have with the different brands, ways to support my channel, and of course my links to social media and all kinds of stuff. So just check it out in case you want to. Definitely don't forget to leave me your comments in the comment section, because I would really like to know what your experiences are regarding foundations and swatching and shade matching and all of that. I'm sure that would be so hilarious, because I don't know if there are so many people out there who really like in the sales personnel, and I don't want to like judge people too much, you know. I also don't expect everybody to know everything, because I also don't know everything. I'm very much limited to where my zone is, you know. So I'm sure it is also not so easy to kind of know a lot about like all kinds of I don't know, complexions and who knows what, you know. But you know, there are certain things that one should just know, that swatching has to be done not on the salesperson. You know, stuff like this. It's just hilarious to me. It's kind of sad, but at the same time, with a little bit of like looking at it from a distance, it is so hilarious, really. I kind of feel sorry for these people, you know, but in any case, that is it. Please share your experiences if you want to. And beyond that, of course, please don't forget to subscribe if you're new here and you've made it till here. I hope you did feel very welcome here, and that you like the vibe of my channel. And I shall see you here super soon for my next video. And up until then, definitely go ahead and sparkle. Hugs and kisses. Bye.